Hi, my name is Wendy Zelmer from Restorative Body Med, and I'm going to answer two questions for you today. How long should you use your home light therapy device, and how many times a week should you use your home light therapy device? Now, of course, there's so many different kinds of devices out there, and the very best way for me to answer your question is to just show you what I would do in clinic and what equipment that I'm using in clinic. So I've been an RMT since 1991, and I've been using light therapy and laser therapy since 2011. What I have found is using the laser and light therapy, it gives my clients the fastest results in clinic, but also if you have a home unit, you are able to get in-clinic results, but you have to be treating your body in a certain way. You have to treat it so you're getting the cumulative results just like you would in clinic. But that means you have to use it for a certain amount of time, and you have to treat your body for a certain amount of days to get that cumulative result. I'm going to tell you a story about a client. I'm going to change his name, and I want to walk you through his treatment plan with me. 10 years ago, he came in. Let's just call him Sam. He's in his 70s. He's a diabetic. He has two major problems. One is frozen shoulder, and the other one is a knee problem. And it was very difficult for him to even get into clinic because his mobility was so reduced. At that time, I had this device that I was using. So a red pad with 180 diodes, an infrared 180 diodes, and a probe, okay? So when he would come in, I wanted to treat both of his areas because of course that's what he wanted. So I had two professional devices that were identical. I would put the red pad on the shoulder placements, and I would put the red pad on the knee placements. It was great because while he was in clinic, I was able to treat two problem areas, and I was able to save him from having to come to the clinic another time to have another part of the body treated. That's one thing I knew for sure that people didn't have enough of, was time to come into the clinic, or they had a disability where it was very challenging to come into the clinic. Now, when he would come in, his treatments were anywhere from minimum an hour up to an hour and a half. Again, I'm treating him with a pad that has LEDs on it, and the LEDs were red in one pad, and in the other pad, the LEDs were infrared. Each pad had 180 diodes. Now, how this system worked was I would place the pad on a very specific spot on the shoulder, and there was 3 different placements. For the knee, there was 3 different placements. So when the timer would go off, I would move the pad. Timer would go off, I would move the pad. Now, on most home units, you don't have a timer, but that's okay because you can just set the timer, buy a little timer that you would get in your kitchen, or set your timer on your phone. And you can treat each area for the recommended time. And then when the time is up, just switch the placement, okay? And so at the end of his treatment, I would use the probe, and then I would flush the areas out with a little bit of massage. Now, what I found over the years is that when I flushed the area out with massage, it actually accelerated the results that the client would get. So if you're doing your own treatment and you are using home light therapy, when you're finished, just flush the area out, just rubbing it gently. And if you have a like a Tiger Balm or a mint oil that you can rub in, that's even better because it helps flush the inflammation out of the area. So let's do a recap on my client. He's in his 70s. He is a diabetic. He's got some health issues. He has a weight issue. And, you know, when he came in, I looked at the prescription that was recommended in my professional unit. And the prescription is in the computer back here. And both treatments were over an hour. What gave me the confidence to be able to treat my client for an hour using 2 professional devices? It was a few different things. Number one, of course, I went through a certification process with this company and training. So they gave me training, I was certified. They have a team of doctors that are there to support me. Whenever I had a question, I could call in and say, hey, what would I do in this situation with this client? But also the light prescriptions that they have in their computer that comes along with the device. They weren't just made up out of nowhere. They were tested, they were researched, and used every single day in their own clinic with their own doctors who offer the training to people like me. And I used the device for hours on my own body before I even started using it on clients. So I knew exactly what the light therapy device could do, and I could move forward with confidence. Fast forward to 2013, and I bring in my K-Laser. Okay, this is a class 4 device that emits a high percentage of joules in a very short period of time. Now you might think, oh, okay, well, this is a class 4 laser. This is a class 2. I'll bet that 1 to 1.5 hour treatment all of a sudden went down to maybe 5 minutes. It didn't. Why didn't his treatment go from an hour and a half down to 5 minutes when I had a device that could deliver 5,000 joules within 5 minutes? And it's because it takes time for the body to absorb the light. So even though the light is being delivered very powerfully and quickly, it doesn't mean that you can just treat the body within 5 minutes and your problem is gone. Remember that it's not just about shining the light on the body. It is about the body's ability to absorb it, and it's about working on the key areas of the body that need the light delivered. So when you're working on frozen shoulder, there is the front part to work on. Okay, we've got to work on the top of the shoulder and the arm. We have to work on the back area, the scapula area, and we have to work under the armpit. Now, can I do all of that in 5 minutes just because I'm delivering more joules? No. If I could, believe me, I would. But I have my own frozen shoulder problems. And when I would work on my body for 5 minutes using my class 4 laser, it didn't have an impact at all. It takes time for the body to absorb the light. And so Sam, I'm still talking about Sam, the class 4 laser came into my practice. What I did was I would use both of my LED pads on his knee and give him even more of an intense treatment on the knee. And then I would use the K laser around the shoulder area because it was easier to use this wand and get in around the armpit and just work around the pec and the scapula area. Now, you might be thinking, wow, so here's this guy using 2 LED pads on him at one time and a K laser. Yeah. And you know what? His results were fantastic because what I know for sure is that when you're using light therapy, it's not something that's harming the body. It's actually helping the body. The more light therapy you use, the more you're able to charge your cells, the more inflammation you're able to reduce, and the faster you're able to create an environment for the body to repair itself. Now, why is the company that you purchased your device from recommending that you only use your device for 6 minutes? That's going to be your homework for today. Reach out to the company and ask them and say, where is this recommendation coming from? Did you use the device on hundreds or thousands of people and get pain elimination results by 6 minutes a day? Now, maybe that recommendation is coming because their insurance company mandated them to only recommend 6 minutes a day. I don't know. But if you want to treat yourself with a light therapy device, make sure that it's FDA approved for efficacy. And what does that mean? That means that this company has proved to the FDA, European Union, Health Canada, that it actually does reduce, has been case studied to reduce pain. So over the years, I've treated thousands of people in hundreds of different ways, and I have seen a pattern. And the pattern is the more light therapy that you deliver to the body, the faster it responds. Why? Because when you reduce inflammation in the body, you create an environment for the body to repair itself. And that's what light therapy and that's what laser does. Reduces inflammation and it creates an environment in the body to repair itself. If you're looking for a home light therapy device, please check out my link below. This device has proved to the FDA its efficacy for pain elimination. They drop ship right to your door, and I can tell you that you are going to be really happy with this device. It is rechargeable, so you can actually wear it when you're out for a walk or doing things around the house. It makes it so much easier to use a device that can be strapped to your body, and you do not have to be attached to a plug-in. So remember, your health is your wealth. Thank you for joining me in this video. And if you have gotten value from this video, please be a blessing and share it with someone who you think it would be helpful to.